Welcome to Onslow County Today. I'm your host, Lisa Whitman-Grice, and today we are joining you from the beautiful Onslow County Environmental Education Center here in Sneads Ferry, where we are joined by some of our favorite furry friends. Today we're also going to be having some wonderful conversations with our friends from the Onslow County Health Department, where we were speaking with Mano. We're also going to talk with LaQuesha Cadwallader from Onslow County Park and Recreation. We'll talk with Erin Mortensen to find out all the wonderful ways that we can learn something new at our Onslow County Public Libraries. We'll visit with Captain Bruce Dixon from the Onslow County Sheriff's Office and learn about the Law Enforcement Citizen Academy being hosted there. And we'll talk with Cindi Douglas about the FNS program and some upcoming changes. As always, we're so glad that you're here for Onslow County Today. Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us now is Cindi Douglas from the Onslow County Department of Social Services. Cindi, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I know that this is a little bit of a rush timeline, and we're so glad you could join us because you're here to talk to us about changes to the FNS program, and we'd love to sort of get some background about what happened in 2020, 2021, and why we're seeing these changes.
So for the last 3 years, because of COVID and the pandemic that we've all been experiencing, FNS clients, Food and Nutrition Services clients, have been receiving additional benefits each month to assist their households with extra food needs. Starting March 1st, the USDA has announced that the additional benefits that households are currently receiving and have been receiving for 3 years will be ending.
So this is really sort of, we knew this was on the horizon, and really because of a good thing in that we're seeing COVID itself becoming just a different part of our lifestyle versus this emergency pandemic. And we're seeing an end to a lot of those relief efforts. But this did come a little more quickly than you all had anticipated. Am I correct in that?
Yes, it did. We were not expecting it to happen quite so suddenly. However, we found out last month when the state of North Carolina was notified of the federal change. And we have just used the time since then to really try to get the word out to the community, to families that we assist, and to other community partners to, just give everybody a chance to kind of prepare for this significant change, because it is going to be a significant change for many households.
And so today is really an opportunity for us to add that one more layer of information sharing. So you've known since December is when the actual notification came from the federal government that this would be ending. And what that means is we're not ending FNS. We want folks to clearly understand that. What that means is the level of support and benefit is returning to its previous or pre-COVID levels, correct?
Correct. So right now, recipients have been receiving 2 deposits each month. They receive their normal allotment, and that's the amount of benefits that they're eligible for based on program guidelines.
Right.
The additional benefit deposit is what is known as the emergency allotment. Mm-hmm. The emergency allotment is what is ending.
Okay.
So they will still get their regular benefits. They will not, in fact, receive the extra emergency allotment.
And so, as you said, you've been using this time to notify folks. And if I'm a family who is receiving benefits and I want to sort of understand what's happening, and I contact your office, what are some of the things that you're sharing with them?
So we are sharing with them, some of the other programs that we do offer. WIC is available to families that may be eligible, and it is an additional food resource. We also recommend that families that have school-age children have their children enrolled in the free and reduced lunch program. If you're an FNS recipient, that your children automatically qualify for that program. That's a wonderful resource for your children to receive breakfast and lunch at school. We also want them to know that we've briefed the community partners, the food pantries, the other agencies in the area, so that they are also prepping for what could be a greater need on their services as well.
Certainly. I mean, for families, we all plan as best we can. We all budget the best that we can. And so you all are an extremely important part of that puzzle for those families, and sort of giving some guidance there as well.
Yes.
When we think about our community partners, I mean, anything from food pantries and our faith-based organizations, as well as our CHEW program, all of those that assist families. What's been sort of the response? Because I know what a generous community Onslow County is.
It is, and we have a lot of great partnerships within the community. But again, for the community partners that we do partner with, it has been a surprise. Again, we thought we had a little bit more time to prepare for this, but they, of course, are always going to step up and do the best that they can for the citizens of Onslow County.
And that's, sort of a call out to our community as well. I mean, the fact that this has happened so quickly, if there are those in the community who can assist by making contributions or donations to those organizations, I'm sure that would be appreciated as well.
Absolutely.
Cindi, when families are going to call you, and certainly they are because they're getting this notification, they're going to want to know more, how's the best way to reach you all?
So our main line is 910-455-4145. However, we are trying to redirect citizens to the USDA website.
Okay.
It has a lot of really great resources, food resources. It explains the actual decision more clearly. There's several links that they can click on to check out some other information. So we, at the county level, are going to be able to answer their questions, but we aren't going to be able to make any changes. So we don't want people thinking that if they contact us, that something's going to change, because unfortunately, this is not an Onslow County decision, and it's not even a North Carolina decision.
Right, so this is, and we've seen this already, some states, because they've gotten this, notification, some states have already implemented it. It's already a done, the circumstances are already such that those emergency allotments have ended already in some states, and then this is going to be the final number of states that are going to be complying with this new change.
Correct.
And again, as you say, this is at the federal level, and you all are implementing what's required. So if folks do have those questions, they can look at that site, and then you all are just helping them prepare sort of at this local level.
And to make referrals,
Sure.
to provide them with resources and other agencies that may be able to assist.
That's okay. Well, we appreciate it. Is there anything, to let those families know that you all are there? I mean, what would you share with them?
We are there, and we do understand that this is going to be shocking for families, and we're sympathetic to that. So we just want people to know that we are doing our best to get the information out there. We are working really hard with our community partners to try to make sure that our local food banks and pantries are stocked, and just kind of try to weather this storm together.
Well, we appreciate it, because that's what you all do so wonderfully for our citizens, and you're always there for them to help them weather these times. Cindi, we appreciate your time and sharing this with us, and we look forward to other conversations that we can have in the future.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us is Captain Bruce Dixon with the Onslow County Sheriff's Office. Thank you so much for joining us, Captain Dixon. We appreciate your time today.
Yes, ma'am. It's a pleasure to be here. It's nice to be in the new facility out here at Sneads Ferry.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate you coming out, and we're talking about something that you all have now done for the better part of 5 years, your Citizens Law Enforcement Academy, and I have only ever heard rave reviews about this program. So you all are to be commended for your efforts first and foremost. But we want to know all about it. How do we participate? What do we do? So the first things first, you have a new session beginning in February.
That's correct, ma'am. February 21st, we'll start our 11th session of our Citizens Law Enforcement Academy, and it'll be a 10-week program, 1 night a week, ending the 25th of April.
Alrighty, so 10 weeks, and that's a pretty immersive program. I mean, the Sheriff's Office is extensive in what you all do, but you're giving folks a real deep dive, if you will, into what the Sheriff's Office does, both at the Justice Center and then throughout the county. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. That is exactly correct. We really want our citizens to be involved with our Sheriff's Office. We are part of the community. We're everyday people in the community, and we feel the best way to develop those friendships is through our transparency, actually open the doors and letting our community in and see day to day what each law enforcement officer does for a living, where his position is, where he works.
Now, you said 10 weeks, and you're taking registration right now for folks who might be interested. Who's eligible to participate? Is there an age limit, community, residency, anything like that we should know about?
For the Citizens Law Enforcement Academy, we are looking at adults above the age of 18. There is no cutoff limit after that. We do offer a junior Citizens Academy, and that is in the summer only, and that would be the ages of 13 to 19. So we do try to address our younger community folks that are interested in law enforcement as well.
And you all have been doing some fun partnerships with kids this last year as well. I know we don't want to get off topic from the academy. I just know you all have done some really cool things with your community officers as well with kids to create that engagement and partnership with our Sheriff's Office.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when we look at folks who register, is there a size to the class itself, a number of limitations to the number of participants? 20, 25, somewhere in that neighborhood? We tried to
hold our class limits for each academy between 20 and 24 students, and that just allows us to get better interaction with each individual community member, and it also facilitates the many things we do, to the tours and everything else, to make sure everybody enjoys it and has a good time.
Well, we want to talk a little bit about those programs that those 20, 24 folks get to see. They register, they come in for the first night orientation, and then for the next 10 weeks, you all take them on the road, you're touring them. Talk about some of the things, the feedback you've gotten from previous participants. You know, we always like to do a class evaluation. What's their favorite part?
The critiques are very good, and a lot of the responses are toward the detention facility itself. To be into the detention facility, to see how the inmates are housed and how our detention officers interact daily with our inmates was surprising to a lot of folks in the community. They were unaware of how efficient it is, how safe it is. So that was a big part of the tours. We also tour the courthouses. So an opportunity for the community to get into the Superior Courthouse and the new Ann Street Courthouse, the new district courts, and see the inner workings of our court systems, our bailiffs, what they do inside of the courts, and the opportunity just to sit down with a district court or superior court judge and ask those questions that you see on Facebook. Why is the bond so low? Why is the bond so high? Why? So they get to interact directly with a district or superior court judge and ask those questions that are prominent in the politics and in the jurisdictions here in Onslow County.
And in the headlines too, so
Yes,
they're
ma'am.
really getting to see how that works. You know, most of us want to avoid a tour of the jail if we can avoid it in a negative sense. But you all are so wonderful. I've taken that tour with you a couple of times, and you've walked us through. I think people who've not seen it would be amazed at the intricacies and the thought that went behind designing that facility. You all really have tried to think of every detail that most of us would never even imagine is behind those walls.
Yes, ma'am, and it's one of those, got to see it to believe it. So strongly recommend coming out for the Academy, taking the, and
Now also, when you say you introduce them to the different roles of the different officers, and you all also have such a strong team there. Talk about under, you know, Sheriff Thomas and the command that you all have, and then all of the folks who work on behalf, you know, with the ultimate goal of public safety. Talk about those folks.
Yes, ma'am. First night of the Academy, of course, we're going to introduce our command staff, and that's Sheriff Thomas and his command, his majors that he has assigned to each division. And then throughout that 10-week program, we are going to spotlight or profile each division's responsibilities, and then correlate it and combine it to show where it comes back into a team effort, team involvement. So our citizens will be exposed to the civil side of law enforcement and how civil processes, subpoenas, evictions, executions, how all those things are conducted in accordance with state law, and how the Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Thomas is responsible for those things to be done. And operations, we'll go into operations, how each deputy performs out on patrol, responding to calls to the service of the community. And we will offer our attending community members that are attending the Citizens Academy the opportunity to ride with the deputy on a Friday or Saturday night and get a windshield tour and be exposed to those calls for service that those deputies respond to each and every day. We'll also take a look at our detective division. Our citizens will have the opportunity to work directly with our crime scene investigators. We'll set up a scenario for them to collect evidence and to see how a crime is processed through our detective division with interviews and interrogations, and of course the collection of the evidence.
You know, we all see that on television, right? And people are fascinated. Young people are fascinated. Is this an opportunity, you know, it's open to those who are 18 and up. Do you all see this ever as an opportunity to really engage future law enforcement officers? You know, is this something that people look at this and they think this is a career opportunity I'd never pondered before?
It does happen. When we first envisioned our Citizens Academy, we were more so looking at community involvement, showing some transparency with the agency and the community. But as a good side to this, we have recruited from our Citizens Academy. We have hired community members that have come through wanting to see what law enforcement is, and then in the middle of the process deciding to make a career change and looked at law enforcement as a profession. We do reach out to our local community college and the instructors and professors there, and we do invite our criminal justice technology folks that are attending at Coastal and ask them if they would like to attend the Academy, just so they can get a comparison of law enforcement, whether they wish to be a police agency or a police officer or a deputy sheriff. And of course, it allows them to network for their future employment, network in the sheriff's office, get to know some folks, and later apply when they graduate college. So it's really working out great.
This idea of engagement, you know, the sheriff's office is indeed one of the oldest offices in Onslow County governance from the colonial period forward. So you all are that stalwart. You are that force that has been here since we began as a community. And now you talk about, you know, these ideas of all these modern law enforcement, including the technology. I mean, the CSI folks and the detectives, that is incredible, very high tech. And then just good old fashioned law enforcement, what you all do, this combination.
The exposure to the DWI task force, getting the opportunity we offer it's called a wet lab. We will take 2 volunteers and we will get them to an intoxicated state, and then in front of our community members we will show how we conduct a field sobriety test, how we determine impairment when we consider making an arrest for a drunk driving offense. They'll also get a tour of the Booze It or Lose It truck, where the breathalyzer is located, and they'll see the entire process of how we keep our streets safe from impaired drivers within the county.
Keep us safe and saving lives. I mean, when we're taking those folks off the road. The last thing I'd love to ask is, when people graduate from the program, do you hear from them afterwards? Do they come back? How do they continue to engage with you all or with the community with the knowledge they have?
Well, that's our ultimate goal, is to establish friendships and maintain those friendships within our community. So we do have folks that come back. They wish to volunteer for different projects within the sheriff's office. We do offer that opportunity. Several of the folks have come back seeking employment, and we have hired from our academy. And we just want to keep that friendship, that bridge, that establishment up and running, and always try to reach out and find new friends. That is
awesome. If we want folks to register, if they want to know more information, how's the best way to reach you?
It can be found on Facebook.
Okay.
The Onslow County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. They can see the Citizens Academy posting there. They can also call me at my office, and that's 910-989-4007. Or I can be emailed, and that email can be found in on the Sheriff's Office Facebook page.
All right. Well, Captain Dixon, always learn something. Always learning something when you visit with us, and are always grateful to you and everyone at the Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Thomas, and all of your folks there for what they do for our community. And we look forward to talking to you later on this year, because we want to know more about our Junior Citizen Academy for law enforcement.
Yes, ma'am. We'll be offering that this summer, and I'll be more than happy to come back and talk to you about that later in the year.
Awesome. Thank you, sir, for all that you do.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us now is Erin Mortensen with our Onslow County Public Libraries. Erin, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me in again.
Well, it is February, and we made it through the holidays and the first of the year and all of your fun activities that you all had planned. And now it's time to love a librarian and all the wonderful things going on. And we want to talk with you about each of our branches and what is on the calendar coming up.
Well, as always, we have a ton of different events at all of our branches for our patrons to enjoy. So kind of kicking us off is this weekend's event at the Jacksonville Library. It's part of our Black History Month celebration, and we have Major James Capers coming in to speak about his life and his experiences, as well as his book.
What a journey that book will take you on, and his experiences and the wisdom, really, that he has to impart.
Yes, he's had a very interesting life and a lot of leadership roles and a lot of firsts, and he's a Hall of Fame member, Commando Hall of Fame member, so I think it's going to be a really great event.
Fantastic. And Maine is also doing some other things coming up?
Yes, we have our Friends of the Library book sale. It's a 3-day event, so the first day is for members of our Friends of the Library group, and then the other 2 days are open to the public, so it's a great opportunity to come in and help support that organization that also supports our libraries.
And I mean, the wall of books that are in your big multi-purpose room there when you have these sales, and I know that some of them kind of make the journey back. So you come in and you have friends and community members who buy the books, and then they redonate them, and they're passed on that way.
Yeah, it's kind of like a recycling program.
The ultimate, right? Yeah. The ultimate. Now, then we move on and we move down the road from Main Branch to Richlands, and what's going on in Richlands?
Richlands this weekend is celebrating National Take Your Child to the Library Day. So it's a national event, and it's a great opportunity to come out and see all of the things that your library has to offer with programs and events and services.
Okay. And I know that last month we talked about Roll Your Roll, and the Dungeons and Dragon initiative program that was begun. I had a chance to witness it. Pretty cool.
Yes, it was a huge hit, both at Richlands and our Sneads Ferry branch. So we have 2 more opportunities to play, 1 at each branch, and the teens really loved it and had so much fun and were so imaginative with their characters. So
fantastic. Yeah. Now, what about Sneads Ferry? Since we're in Sneads Ferry today, what are our friends doing next door?
So they are also celebrating Take Your Child to the Library Day on the 4th with a bunch of games and activities for you and your kids. And then on the 25th of February, we have our Black Superhero Showcase happening, and it's going to be a huge event. They're really excited for it.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Although lots of folks would say Major Capers is a superhero too, right?
He is. He's a real life superhero.
A real life superhero. And then they're going to celebrate that here as well.
Yes.
And then finally in Swansboro, where they've just had a little bit of beautification landscaping going on. I've seen it looks really gorgeous. What's going on in Swansboro?
They are also having a Friends of the Library book sale. This one's a little bit different because they're going to have 4 local authors there, and they're going to be doing book signings and talking a little bit about their stories and their experience as an author.
Fantastic. That is awesome. Now, all of our branches are just doing incredible things all the time. Can't list it all here. How's the best way to find out what's going on day to day at our libraries?
Day to day, I highly recommend following us on social media, our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're always posting about the events that we have going on during the week and those that are upcoming. And you can also pick up one of our quarterly newsletters that'll have pretty much every event that we have going on for a 3-month time period. And head over to our website. We have our events listed, and our sign-ups to register for some of our events are there too.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to look at all those resources. We're going to jump in the first thing, Major Capers at Main Branch starting things off this weekend. So what a wonderful start to the month. Erin, it is always a great pleasure to have you here. And we really do love our librarians.
We do, yes. Thank you for having me again.
Welcome back to Onslow County Today. And joining us is one of our favorite friends, LaQuesha Cadwallader. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you for having me.
It is time for all kinds of fun stuff to go on at Onslow Park and Rec. Even though that's probably just your mantra all year long, is something to do. Always something to do. And of course, it's not quite spring, you know, and spring means spring training for people who are fans of baseball. And you have your own version of spring training because it is time for registration.
It is. It's time for registration for baseball, softball, and t-ball for our little ones. And registration is open now. And you can register today at onslow.recdesk.com, and it will be open until February 28th.
All right, so we've got the whole month to register baseball, softball, And T-ball.
And T-ball, yes.
You know, I mean, and apple pie, right? I mean, and hot dogs.
Why not?
I mean, this is it. This is the beginning, and who knows? There might be that next great, you know, 90-mile-an-hour softball pitching young woman out there, baseball star. We don't know what's on the horizon.
That's right. That's right.
And this is where they get their start. LaQuesha, when you think about those young athletes and the team building that goes on, talk a little bit about why a lot of that is at the heart of what you all do at Park and Rec.
We love to bring this opportunity to the community where they can come and get their start in baseball and t-ball and softball, and we see where it goes. They come and they learn team building, they come and they learn different strategic, you know, things to do in baseball and softball and t-ball. And we have great volunteers that come and volunteer their time to coach our little babies and our teenagers, and it's just a great time.
You know, it's just, and it's so joyful to watch. I mean, it's meant to be a joyful time, right? And this celebration of getting out there and being a team.
Yes, we enjoy it.
That is awesome. Also, you have a wonderful event planned for the end of the month as well. Tell us about what you all have planned for Black History Month.
We are so excited. We are going to have a Black History Month celebration on February the 26th from 5 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And we have some great live entertainment planned. There's a dance theater coming from Greensboro that are going to come and play drums. Zecca's children's drum line is going to come. There's a saxophonist coming from Raleigh, North Carolina, Drew Clements. Different spoken word, and just different history facts about African Americans.
When you all were planning this, what was at the heart of what you were thinking about?
The community, and just bringing awareness of Black history to the community and bringing everybody together and just having a good time and celebrating African American history.
And the idea of the history of jazz with the saxophone player and the kids from Zecca, like they're incredible. So everything you have planned sounds awesome. If the public wants to attend, is there a ticket? Do we need to register in advance?
There's not a ticket. It is free and open to the public. We're going to have food. We're going to have some games, some trivia, a chance to win some giveaways, donated from a couple of people in the community. And it's a free event and open to everyone. And it's going to take place at 1940 Gum Branch Road, which is the Old River of Life Church.
Okay, so Old River of Life, that is on a Sunday. We remind folks that's a Sunday evening. Free and open to the public, and an opportunity to not just learn about Black history, but to experience it.
Yes, get involved, yes.
Now, if folks want to know about anything that's going on at Park and Recreation, how do we best know?
It's best to follow us on Facebook, our social media page, and also our website, and also onslow.recdesk.com, where you can find out about all of our programs and events and register for those that need registration.
All right, so we're going to register our kiddos for baseball, softball, or t-ball, and then we're going to have this wonderful, immersive Black history lesson experience at the end of the month. Anything else you want to sort of tease that's coming up that you've got on the horizon?
I think that's about it. We have so much planned. We like to keep the excitement.
All right, we're going to keep a secret because we've got some new things coming up in the spring. Getting excited about that. First things first, great program going on at the end of the month. Of course, baseball, softball, t-ball. Go to your website, follow you on social, and learn all about the cool things and fun things always at Park and Rec.
Yes, there's some fun things coming up. We're excited.
Well, LaQuesha, it's always a pleasure to have you, and thanks for being here. Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us is Matt Mano with the Onslow County Health Department. Matt, thanks for being here.
It's so great to be back.
Well, when you were here in January, we were talking about lifestyle changes and resolutions, all kinds of healthy habits and jumping off, right? So now we're second month into the year. We're hoping that we've all held to our resolution. Actually going great.
Good.
So good job. Great advice for everybody. Here we are, And now it is American Heart Month.
It is.
In this month of love.
Of course.
And we got to love ourselves.
We do.
And talk about how we need to do that.
Loving ourselves means being healthy for ourselves. So last month we did Healthy for Life. We can continue Healthy for Life, but with American Heart Month, we're celebrating cardiovascular health prevention. We want to get those blood pressure rates normal, but we also want to make sure that our preventive screenings are all, taking place, making sure that we're doing all of our annual screenings. So that would include making sure that our blood pressure ranges are within range, making sure that we're doing our well child checks if we have children, making sure that our women are doing their annual breast and cervical pre-screenings, men are doing prostate screenings. So every screening that you can possibly think of, there's a lot of screenings out there. But of course, not every person is going to get every screening done. So you're going to do whatever screening your doctor recommends for you based on your age and risk level. We're here, of course, from the health department to help. We offer a lot of those screenings. They're all on our website, screenings for all ages, including, like I just said, well child checks. That includes audio screenings for hearing, visual screenings, and then overall well child physicals too.
Getting started right. And having that baseline. I mean, those screenings, people can say, oh, I guess I feel pretty good, right? But when you get that baseline, then you have something to work toward.
You do, and as long as most of these screenings are annual, and that helps when you have that baseline, and then you can just keep on rolling. One of the benefits whenever you find a primary care provider of sticking with them is that they're gonna be able to track that for you too. They'll be able to see whether or not, oh look, the blood pressure has spiked here, and if it's just a one and done and regular, then cool. Or maybe they know it's progressively gotten higher. It might be time to jump into Healthy for Life and kind of change that diet, lower off on some sodium, change some habits so that you can get back on track.
Well, very good. So we want to be thinking about heart health this month. We're going to be thinking about getting those screenings, and one of the things that we screen for so commonly that is I just always like to say it's sneaky, and that's our blood glucose levels. That's screenings for type 1 or type 2 diabetes.
Absolutely, those A1Cs. And that's something else that we offer to our diabetes prevention program. With those glucose levels, we offer a program that it's exclusive. You have to be screened into it.
Okay.
But it's a great program that we offer at the health department, and it's our diabetes prevention program. You get into it whether you have your A1C levels are screened, and that's kind of what bumps you in for your eligibility, or you can also do the CDC's pre-screening assessment for pre-diabetes. So our goal of DPP is that we want to make sure that you're going to be able to regulate those levels, and that you're not going to have to start medications, and you're not going to get type 2 diabetes yet. So the program is for pre-diabetes. We want to prevent diabetes.
And those lifestyle changes are remarkable. You're educators, and what you all teach us at the health department changes lives, Matt. I mean, I don't want to be overly dramatic, but I've seen it happen.
Absolutely.
And I celebrate what you all do. It's just been, and it's not this harsh, come down, never eat another cookie. Because the cookie's not a bad thing. Cookie's not the enemy.
Right.
But it's about how you make those changes.
And we talk about habits, and the DPP program, the Diabetes Prevention Program, really is a lifestyle change. It's not about getting you the right medications. It's not about making sure that you're doing this or that one and done. It's a 12-month program, and so you have to be committed to it. We're recognized by the CDC for it, and when you enroll in it, we do 3 months of weekly programs for it.
Okay.
And then for the next 3 months, we do it bi-weekly. And then for the next 6 months, it jumps to a monthly program.
Okay.
So it kind of starts off rigorous, and then we work on changing our habits, and then we work on maintaining that as well. So the goal of the program by the end of it is to make sure that we've lowered our weight to a healthy level, also making sure that we're getting that physical activity, 150 minutes every week, And like I said, we're working on making sure that we get to that point. For example, with the physical activity, you know, we're going to do 150 minutes. We're going to work up to that for the first 6 months. That next 6 months is making sure that we're maintaining it. And then once you get out of the program, you're still handling this. It's still your lifestyle. So it's all about a lifestyle change. It's not like, all right, 12 months and we're done. We're ready to roll. We don't have pre-diabetes anymore, because you can get back to that point.
Right.
But the goal is, you've created this new lifestyle and you can roll with it. You know, you have the ideas for it. Our health educators that do the DPP program, whenever they meet with those classes, they create physical activity goals for you based on how you are in your life. You know, if you don't move, if you're not super active within that, then they might set some goals with you where you might be walking in place while you're watching TV, or you might just go outside for 10 minutes a day or something like that, so you can get up to that point, helping you learn about what foods you should be eating, healthy things you can add in, and then, you know, eventually maybe cutting back on some of that sodium or sugars or whatever the issue might be for those glucose levels too.
Well, you know, I'm thinking about how the gradual build and then the gradual taper off, but also the bonds of working with other folks who are in similar situations, and what it means to have that resource to talk with, to empathize with.
Absolutely, and there's the accountability of the program. Again, we really want to make sure that the individuals that participate and enroll in it, that the eligible participants are committed for it, because like I said, it's a 12-month program. If you miss one, we make it up so that you make sure you're not missing out on it.
Fantastic.
But also there's opportunities for physical activity. We have our current, we call them a cohort, because you're with them for 12 months long, so you do develop those relationships with them. And the current cohort goes out, they have a walking club that goes around Jacksonville Commons weekly. They go around and do that. So there's those opportunities for physical activity and accountability with the group as well.
Well, it is phenomenal. As I say, I've seen it work. I've seen the magic of what you all do, that you work in people's lives. And it all starts with loving ourselves, knowing that we care enough about ourselves, getting those baseline screenings, and then making those gradual, not dramatic, but gradual lifestyle adjustments and changes.
Absolutely.
Where they're needed. You know, I thought about what you said is 150 minutes of exercise a week, some type of physical activity.
Yeah.
And the challenge we sometimes have is, oh, we're going to do all 150 minutes in one day, and then we're exhausted and sore, and we never go back.
Yes, and you divide it into 5 days, and that's 30 minutes a day.
We can all find, like you said, if I'm doing the dishes, if I'm little ways,
Absolutely,
you can find that little bit of extra 30
Moving
minutes.
around, doing some bending, getting up, do some walking out, get some fresh air.
Baby steps.
That's right.
Now, Matt, if people want to know more about any of these programs, the screenings, the lifestyle change programs, you know, all of these, the diabetes or pre-diabetes education programming, the cohort that they could become part of, how do we do that?
The new cohort's going to start in March, so all the information can be found on our website, onslowcountync.gov/health. They can also see information on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. We're on all of those platforms. They can also call us for more information. Our number is 910-347-2154.
Well, Matt, it is always a pleasure.
It's always great to be here.
And thank you for sharing everything with us. We look forward to hearing more about the success of your cohort.
Thank you.
As always, we are so grateful that you've joined us for Onslow County Today, and a very special thank you to each of our guests. Cindi Douglas from Onslow County DSS, Captain Bruce Dixon with the Onslow County Sheriff's Office, Erin Mortensen from the Onslow County Public Library, LaQuesha Cadwallader with Park and Rec, and Matt Mano with the Onslow County Health Department. You know, this year happens to be the year of the trail here in North Carolina, and here at the Onslow County Environmental Education Center, we have a beautiful nature trail that you can go out and explore. And that's what we invite you to do. Get out and explore your Onslow County today.